Hello, my name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr., and I was born July 4th, 1986. Today I want to talk about something that I believe is a super fascinating thing that just keeps occurring in my life, and I keep on realizing. That's when I'm working with some simple little animals, some little old dogs out here. They really teach me a lot of life lessons when I'm just working with them that really get me thinking a whole lot. The more and more I keep working with them, and the closer and closer I keep getting to them. And the more people I keep on helping out with your dogs, I just get my hands on more inspiration. These animals are such a godsend. That's what I can say. They're an absolutely amazing creature to be able to be around. They try to imitate us as human beings because the more and more we keep on raising them to be closer and closer to us, the more and more they start acting like us. The more and more they start to know how to get what they want from us. The more and more they just can get really pushy. And pushy in a way that is to me, I enjoy it, but I've come to realize majority of people don't like it when they get as pushy as they are. But I really get to learn a lot about them, especially when it comes down to the ones that are extremely terrified. The ones that are just so scared of the world that they are barking at everything. It's not only just, some people have this situation where you got your dog that you put him on a leash and he's barking at every other dog. But some people run in a situation that the dog is barking at people and dogs and children. And some people run into the situation that they're barking at not just people and dogs and children, but cars and squirrels and rabbits and the wind and the stars and the moon and the sun and clouds. They're barking at things that aren't even there, that they're just barking. And you're even trying to figure out what it is they're barking at in the moment. And they're just going absolutely crazy. For me, it just, I really get it in me of thinking like, what the heck has caused this animal to be such a way? What is it that has just driven this dog to this confident, extremely confident beast? This dog that has the capabilities of destruction, to be so afraid of everything, afraid of even looking at itself, afraid of even sleeping because it doesn't know what's going to happen when it falls asleep, that something may be able to attack it. What has caused such a beast on this planet to be terrified? It's to me like seeing like a lion or something, or like a bear being scared of something that it's just normal environment. It just really gets me thinking a lot. Then when I get to thinking about the whole concept of what I was just saying, that they're starting to become more like us. They're starting to act more like human beings because we're getting so close to them. That I've realized that a lot of human beings have the same issue, that you're so scared of everybody. You're so scared of everything. You're so scared to do anything. You're so scared to go anywhere. You're so scared to speak. You're so scared to show your face. You're so scared that you're gonna mess up all the time, so don't even try and do it. You're just so scared of everything. And it makes me think like, what has happened to you being such a person that was created in God's image, in God's likeness, that is a supreme being, that is just absolutely, there's no words to how to understand what God actually truly is. When you just look around at the creation of everything out here, that how is it that we as humans have gotten to the point that we're so frail? We're so just quick to quit because we're scared of what could happen. We're scared to even start. We don't even start because we're scared. We don't even show up because we're scared. We don't speak because we're scared. And we just shut down and hide away and run away and just say, that just wasn't for me. How is it that we are such a strong, resilient, of everything on this planet, we as human beings, I'm going to say, is what I would think is being the most resilient being that's out here. We're the only ones that are constantly evolving to be able to just make our lives to be such easier and easier. We're the only beings out here that have created hospitals so that we can treat each other and help each other. And we're the only ones out here that create even a nursing home, that you agree in them or not, but we do that, where nothing else out here does such thing. How are we such a resilient creature, species out here, but yet we come to the point of being so scared and so frightened? Because in reality, if you were alive 4,000 or 5,000 years ago and you were so scared, you wouldn't have made it. Your family would have made it past, because you would have ran in and stumbled and fumbled and not been able to keep up. So somehow we came from just extreme strength. So now we're kind of getting to the point of just being super frail and so shut down to the point of just not caring and not knowing. And it really makes me think a lot, because when it comes down to when I see these dogs, and I've come to realize how to be able to cure this issue. If your dog is barking at other dogs, going crazy. It's crazy. It's like you're not speaking. The dog is just out of its mind. And I know a lot of people completely understand what I'm saying. If you haven't had that one in front of you on leash, you see one out there that's doing this. It is just savage. And you're not sure, is my dog ready to attack? Because a lot of people say, oh, my dog is aggressive. Your dog is not aggressive. It's not aggressive at all. It's got zero aggression in it. That's why it's doing what it's doing, because it doesn't want to have to go into that battle because it's so scared. But I've come to realize how to fix that, and how to fix with her barking at people and barking at the wind and don't know what to do. You just make them sit in it. You make them have to just deal with it. You make them have to just go through it. You make them just bark in the dog's face until they realize, hey guys, all done. Until you realize there's no more barking that's going to be able to get you anywhere. There's no more lunging and pulling and going crazy that's going to get you anywhere. You're going to get to the point that things are just going to get so tired and so overwhelming that you're just going to say, you know what, I quit, I give up. And you just gotta put yourself in it. You just gotta deal with it. You gotta handle it. You gotta fight through it. And there's no running away. There's no backing out. Hey Johnny, get down. You acting super pushy on my shadow, man. Get down. Thank you. Get down. Acting pushy on my shadow. Shadow a beast back here. You don't mess with my shadow man. My shadow man is my prized possession. He not like you. Not that you're not cool, but Shadow is my prized possession. All right, homie? You can get out of here. Go ahead. Sorry, I had to deal with some dog training situations going on there. And when I come to your house and I tell you not to talk to your dogs, I'm sorry, but I definitely do talk to my dog. It's just if they don't understand it, then don't talk to them. But I don't know what it is, but I truly feel like my dogs definitely understand what I'm saying when I'm talking to them. It's a fascinating thing. But it's something that I've just come to realize about how to being able to get them through all this just crazy madness. And it comes down to a couple new dog trainers I've been listening to. They come off a little hostile in how they talk, so it's hard for anybody to really listen to them, but they really got the message clear and right, that you don't need no trainer, you don't need no nothing. You just need to stand there and sit there and hang out there until the animal just gets past it and gets through it. And it doesn't take days, weeks, months, years. It takes a couple minutes. And most dogs, at most it might take an hour, but it takes a couple minutes for them to just sit in what they're scared of. You're just gonna sit in it, and you're just gonna stare at it and realize that you're not gonna bark it away, you're not gonna scare it away, you're not gonna do any of that. You're just gonna stay there until you realize, I'm now neutral, I'm now calm. Now I can finally be able to think things through and see, like, there actually isn't anything out here to worry about. Because a lot of times we're on a rampage. This is what I see in the dog. They're on a rampage where they're like, oh my goodness, I'm so scared. So they attack what they don't know. And they want to try to get it out of here. And they're not thinking it through. They're just in reaction mode. They're just in, I gotta go mode. I gotta do this mode. So it comes for me to come in to say, I'm gonna get you out of that reaction mode to get you into a thinking mode, to think it through, to see that this really isn't all that bad. This really isn't all that scary. This really isn't anything that is gonna harm you or hurt you. But yet, this is something that we do as people, as human beings. That we do some dangerous stuff to other people. We do some devastating things to people because we're scared of what's gonna happen, because we don't know what's gonna happen. And we're just going towards the worst case scenario every time. Oh, it's gonna fail, it's gonna hurt me, they're gonna kill me, they're gonna damage me, they're gonna destroy me. As opposed to, like, maybe they're actually there to help you. So maybe you need to put yourself out there and put yourself in it, realizing that there's people here that wanna help you. Not everybody out here trying to hurt you and trying to destroy you. Not everything out here is to just belittle you and make you be nothing and seem like you're nothingness, but actually here to help you and here to guide you to be a better person. But yet you don't put yourself in it because you have it in you that the whole world is out against you. And that's what's making you more and more scared, more and more terrified, more and more nervous, more and more anxious, more and more just in a way of completely shut down that you don't even attempt to start anything. And that's where something for me that I don't know how to say this other than there was a transformation that I'm going to say literally happened overnight with the whole process of me trying to get closer to understand who the one true God creator of this world is. And that's allowed me to be able to say, put my face on this camera right here and speak to a camera in the middle of nowhere. At first, it's very, very strange. It's very, very awkward, very, very foreign. And in reality, when I was first doing it, I still don't even know how I got the courage to do it because I was never a person. I never had no social media. I never had no nothing. I never liked to put myself out there. I never liked to be seen. And I had it in me that I was too scared, too nervous, too worried, too shut down, too paranoid, too everything. And people are going to laugh at me. People are going to this, people are going to that. There's something that has been able to help me. And that's being able to have the trust in God to be able to push me through. And that's something that I've come to realize just with working with these animals, that they come to trust me, and then they calm down and they relax. And I'd be able to get them to be able to get out of that reaction mode to get into thinking mode and think it through. You're an intelligent being. You're not just savage animal that's out here just crazy and maddening and wild. No, you're a very logical thinking thinking animal. And that's where it comes to us as human beings, that we are exceptionally intelligent, thinking human beings out here doing what we're doing. We had a lot of us are not actually thinking everything through. We're only thinking some of it through. We're thinking partial parts of things through. We're not thinking the whole picture. We're looking at all the bad and the negativity that can go down, as opposed to all the great things that it could bring me. Is there going to be someone out there that's just going to say, what you're doing is so stupid, it's so silly? Heck yeah. That's just the unfortunate thing of life. And in reality, I don't know what it is, but hey, Johnny, get up out of it. You back over here again. Come here, Johnny. Oh, get down. You get down. You broke my chicken coop, homie. Get down. You broke my chicken coop. He broke my chicken coop. Is there going to be someone out there that is going to put that pressure on you? And in reality, let's say something for me. The first video I put out there, that's all the haters came in instantly up front. Had something bad to say, something negative to say. Called me all kinds of names. Calling this and that. Is that going to happen? That is going to happen. But at the same time, you're going to have 100 times people that are going to say that was in for me. That was something that I really needed. You're going to have way more of that. But a lot of times, a lot of people stop and they don't do what they do because they're so worried about that one. And they stay stuck on that one, as opposed to the 100 that's there, that's supporting you. You stay stuck on that one, and that one is the one that you only focus into and you stay on. As opposed to there's 100,000 out there that's saying, I need this, and keep going at that. Keep pursuing what you're doing. And there's something about us as human beings that we get stuck on that one when you're out there in the world thinking that you got to do it all on your own. When you're out there and don't have no trust in anything greater than you. When you're it's just you. But there's something greater than you that you can trust upon. And that's who I can say is Jesus. To be able to trust upon, that you're going to be able to get through these things. You're going to be able to make it happen. You're going to be able to see past all that negative stuff out there, and then be able to see all the positive things that are there for you. It's something for me that I've struggled with my entire life. I never wanted to do anything, and I never wanted to show anything that I was doing. Like, I have to be a professional at it before I can show you what I do with it. Because I don't want you to think that I'm stupid, I'm foolish, I'm no good, I'm unworthy, I'm any negative possible thing. I want to always look like I'm the best of the best at everything that I do. And I realized that was just setting me up for absolute failure. Because in reality, I'll never be the best of anything that I do. There's always a learning curve with absolutely everything that goes on. And if you're looking at the world as if I got to be so perfect so no one would ever say anything bad about it, you're never going to get anything started. You're never going to get started at anything. And that's what I see with everything that goes out here. We're fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. We're so scared that we're trying to do everything we can to fight to get away from it, as opposed to just get in it. And get in it, sit in it, and just marinate yourself in it, and just appreciate where you're at and what's going on, instead of trying to keep on running away from it. The more that we're running away from things, the more that we're just lacking and slacking and going nowhere. That there's sometimes that this is something that I've come to really realize that is something that I didn't like at first when I would think about this concept. But today, after doing what I'm doing, I understand it. That sometimes to get you through some of your fears that you got a little bit of pressure's got to get applied. And I'd rather have a little bit of pressure rather than no pressure to be able to get through it faster. That can we get through it with no pressure? Yeah, we sure can. But that could be a unlimited style situation that we don't know when we're going to be able to get through it. But sometimes some pressure's got to be put upon us to just like fight you through what your problems are, to fight you through where you're at so that you can just get through it faster. If you've got a huge issue going on in your life, or you just have this blockage, wouldn't you rather get through it in a week or a day? Rather than just dealing with it with no pressure, with no pushback on being able to help you to move forward, and just sticking in that for months, weeks, years, and just staying in it, as opposed to just something have to happen that you're going and going. Hey, John, get down. That you're going and going, and you end up in a situation that is just like, please help me. And that's where I understand the realization of not all pressure is so bad on this planet. Not all just direction and correction is all that bad on this planet. That I would prefer to have that rather than nothing, to be able to help guide me through what it is that I'm struggling with, as opposed to just allowing me to just stay in it and stay in the suck and stay in the trash of the life that I'm dealing with. I'd rather have something almost traumatic happen once so that I can be able to get past the problem that's going on with me. And that's just the understanding that I realize with my life as a whole general, that I've been trying to get to a place, and that's trying to get closer to understanding God. And I've been trying to get there, but I always would just try to put myself out there, but not actually fully go in there. And then some pressure would get put upon me, and I would just fight back at that pressure instead of just folding into that pressure and saying, okay, I see what's going on here. So multiple tragedies would have to keep on continuously happening more and more in my life, that I just would go further and further and further into just absolute tragedy, until I just realized that, you know what, I'm done. I'm done. I understand what you're looking for. I understand what you want. Now let me go ahead and move forward to see that 100 great things as opposed to that one bad thing. That it really just opens up your life. And then when you start to do that in one area, every other little area gets faster and easier for you to be able to get through and be able to conquer. Because a lot of us are just not doing what we're supposed to be doing because we're scared. And I say supposed to be doing as if someone out there has you this and you that. No, what you want to do. We all have something inside of us that we want to do. And in most cases, we don't do it because we think the rest of the world is going to think we're stupid for it. Or we're foolish, or that's not going to go anywhere, that's not going to do nothing. We're so worried about what somebody has to say, as opposed to just going in it and getting it done. Knowing that everyone around you, your immediate family, your immediate friends, are all going to look at you and more likely use some ruthless words to you about what it is that you want to do. Ruthless words, you stupid, that's foolish, that's going to fail. Who are you to think that you could do that? You're never going to make that. You're never going to amount to much to be able to get into that. That's what everyone's going to say to you. And you don't do it, you don't pursue it because you've already heard some of that, but you're scared that someone's going to say that. And that's where, if you've never even heard that, like, you really need to dig deep and push even further into that. Because you should know that you shouldn't be that terrified to do what it is that you want to do. And be who you want to be out here. You should really just open up and this is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. This is how I want to be able to live my life. I see what y'all doing and I don't like that. I reject that. I want to go this way. I want to do this. This is what I want to do. I want to get closer to God. I want to get closer to Jesus. I want to figure out more about him. And I want to be able to go this route right here. I want to be able to help people out by doing this. We all have something that we have in us that we want to do to be able to help people out. And when you continue to keep on doing that, that's where you're going to get the ease of life that you're looking for. Not the easy life, but the life that's going to be much simpler for you to be able to excel at. And not excel to the point that now I'm a trillionaire and be able to live a good life to be able to help a lot of people out. That having all the money, I'm telling you, isn't going to do nothing if you're not helping anybody with that. And a lot of times we got to get broken down to understand what it is that we're supposed to be doing with all that money. That you're going to get it and then just selfishly use it all yourself and end up nowhere in the end anyways. That's a lonely, horrible, disturbing life. I've seen that life. I see that life with many people today. Like, I know people that are like that just have so much, but they don't know what to do with it. And you're not helping out anybody. The only way that you're really going to be able to find that joy inside of you is to be helping out people, doing something that you have inside of you that you know you want to do, and put it out there. And just don't care what people have to say about how silly that is and how stupid that is. Like, I still don't know how many people have told me, like, me working with dogs, that's stupid. You can't do nothing with that. But yet I see other people that are doing this, and I'm just like, they are making a living out of this. They're not just living. They're making other people's lives living with what it is that they do. They're bringing on other people to be able to make sure that they got enough resources to be able to pay for their family. There's people out here that do that for working with some animals. And someone will say that, no, that's not going to work. That's not going to happen. That's impossible. You know, I don't know how many times I've been told that personally, but it never slowed me down, never stopped me, because when I got into this, I really got in getting closer and closer to understand who God is. And it just allowed me to just let that background noise go and just get in it, knowing that it's going to be hard, knowing that it's scary, knowing that you don't really know all that much about it, dude. But I'm going to get out there and figure it out and get going at it and start making it work, start making it happen. And that's what happens when you get closer and closer to God, to allow him to be able to get you where it is that you need to go. And a lot of times, the only way that we're going to be able to get through it is to start it. We got to start it. We got to get out there and got to make it happen. We got to push into it. We got to get it going. And once we get it going, then God's going to come along and start to help us and guide us through it. But God can't get us to do anything that we don't want to get up and do. We have to do it. We have to make that first action. We have to follow through with what it is that we said that we wanted to do. And then God can help us out. But God's not just going to wake you up and just give you all this information and you're going to go out there and start doing it. That's just not the way it works. That's not how it's ever worked, and that's not how any biblical character inside of the Bible has ever had to work on this planet. They have to get up and they got to do something. They got to make something happen. It didn't just show up. It didn't just come to them. Something about them, and they had to stand up and they had to make it happen. And even when you think about the character of Saul, coming from, he's like, I'm from the smallest tribe, and I'm from this, and I'm a nobody, am I nothing? And he ran and hid when he was when they were trying to explain to him about being the king. But he had to be the one to walk out there and take the opportunity. God couldn't just give it to him. He had to still stand up. He could have ran away and just ran away, and he would have lost his opportunity. But he stood up to it. He was scared. He was terrified. He was just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to, I can't handle that. And he still just followed through and made it happen. And then once he made that decision, then the Holy Spirit of God came inside of him. And then it evolved him to be able to do some interesting stuff. He messed up, but that's just another story of showing that we as human beings, we mess up. It just is what it is. But he still did live a pretty decent life in reality. He didn't just have nothingness. He messed up here and there. But that is just what it is. And that's a life lesson for us to read, to be able to understand, of realizing that maybe we shouldn't do the same type stuff. Maybe we should take God's blessing and use it the way that we should, and not just abuse it. And not to try to manipulate and steal and overdo what it is that we're supposed to be doing. And it's just something amazing about just getting going and getting started. Because it's something that I've just come to realize with working with some silly dogs, that when they're scared, when they're anxious, when they're frantic, when they're just going wild, I mean savage wild, most cases what we do as human beings is we remove ourselves and that animal from that situation, as opposed to just making them sit in it and just stay in it until they get through it. Because they're going to get through it. They are going to 100% of the time get through it. They will get through it. But it's a matter of us being patient and willing and be able to get them to get through it. And that's the concept of what I think of as us as human beings. We got to get through it. We got to put ourselves out there to get through it. And we got to be patient and willing to get it done. And once we start getting through it, we're going to stop being so reactive and start getting into thinking about it and thinking it through and being able to push ourselves to get past what it is that we're struggling with. And then realize that, wow, this is an amazing world. This is an amazing place. I hear tragedy going on here. I hear tragedy going on there. That's always going to happen. That's always going down. That's just what it is. Because why? Majority of this world just doesn't want to believe in and have a good understanding of where we came from. We came from tragedy. We came from fighting. We came from war. We came from battles. We came from destruction. We came from just problems and fighting and bickering and just chaos. And since we knew we came from that, we should figure out how to be able to get away from that. But yet, we don't want to read all that. We want to just think that that's all fake. Those are just fairy tales. That stuff's not real. That can't be right. And yet, we're still just doing the same stuff today over and over again. We're doing the same stuff today, right this second today, right now. Right now today in 2023, in the middle of the October. We are doing the same stuff we were doing back in the Old Testament in the Bible. The exact same stuff is going down today, right now. Nothing new. Nothing new is happening. Because that's why a lot of times when I read this Bible, I'm just like, dude, we are talking about right here, right now, what's going on. We are not in no modern times. We are in the times of before Jesus was even alive still. We are still acting the same way. Because majority of the world today wants to reject the concept and idea that Jesus came. And since we're half the world, more than half the world is rejecting that, we're going to continue to keep on doing that. And that is exactly what the Bible even states. So for me, when I hear about war and this and that, I know. When someone says that might come here to the United States of America, I'm like, I know that's going to happen. I know that's coming here. I know that's going to go down. It has to, because we're rejecting all of our history. We're trying to cancel all the history and not realize what we came from. I'm telling you, if you would read it and study it and pay attention to it, you would get away from that. But yet we stay in it. We're staying in that reactive mode of, oh my goodness, it's scary. Oh my goodness, it's this, as opposed to just getting to the thinking concept. And that's what God offers us, a chance to be able to think it through, to realize, hey, what are we doing? What is going on here? Instead of just hear some news and just, no, you're going to hear some news and you're going to say, what's going on with that? Let me think about that for a moment before I get out there and say this and say that. No, let's think it through. Because we today are doing what I see the issue with, what it is that these dogs are doing, is all becoming reactive. We as human beings are becoming reactive human beings. We are no longer thinking logically. We are just doing based on what someone else is saying that we should be doing, for one, and just for us to do because we think that we get into the survival mode. That I hear some news about this and I got to get in survival mode now, and now I got to hunker down. Now I got to damage everyone else because I got to be that one that gets out. I can't allow someone else to be able to get out. That's what we're doing as humans. We're going, what I would say is, unfortunately, backwards in a way. We're not being more intelligent that we should be. We're going to a way of just such a reactive way that we're no longer caring about the person next to us. We're just trying to care about our own selves. And we're going deep today. And we don't care about our children. We don't care about anything. We just care about our own selves. And when we're doing that, we're thinking about our own selves as if we are that own God, as opposed to realizing that there's a God that created this, that can help you through this and guide you through this. And we got to get into that understanding instead of trying to run away from it like it's not real. And that can't be right. You know, that God or that body, that's stupid. That ain't going to do nothing for me. But yet, how is he explaining everything that's going on today? How is he explaining everything that's going to happen tomorrow? How is he explaining everything that's already been happening? You know, it's a really interesting thing, because when you really look at that book, you know, if somebody, because I had this thinking before, that if human beings have wrote this book, they're doing a really good job of setting it up to make sure that every century and every millennia is going on with that book, going in order. Somehow the human beings that created it a couple thousand years ago have been able to predict where we're going to be right now, and actually be able to do that in a way that it actually does happen. To me, that's pretty impressive if a human was doing that. I mean, that's extremely impressive. But it's just fascinating that they know what's happening right now. That book that was written knows what's going down right now, right today. Not then, but right now. I'm telling you, you can read that book and it'll explain to you what's happening right now and what you should expect to hear to happen real soon. And that's what I would have a good understanding of, realizing what brings that clarity and the calmness to me. Because I know where we're going. Are we going to a place that everything's just going to be so peaceful and so easy and so relaxed? No, we're headed to the place that things are only today going to keep on getting worse. Not so much as worse compared to before, where I don't even know in reality. It may get worse to the point of how our wars and how things used to be. We all here looking at this Israel stuff right now thinking this is savage, they're killing kids, they're killing this, but this has already happened before, people. This has already happened before, on a scale 1,000,000 times worse than where we're at right now today. So I would hope that we at least stay where we're at and not get any worse. But in reality, our future is headed to only just continue to keep getting worse. And that's where we're going. That's why we as a people need to figure out how to be able to band together, to get together, work together, to get out of this. The only way, we're not going to say get out of it, but make it so it's not so bad. Make it so it's not so evil. Because the more and more that we're just rejecting this Bible, the more we're making it evil. That we're not living in a way of thinking it through. We're just going to be reacting. And when you're reacting, you'll do some tragedy things. You'll do some evil stuff just because you think that you're the one that needs to survive, as opposed to working together. And when you work together, you're going to be able to survive in such an absolutely amazing way that you're going to be able to have a team and not just be alone. And when you got a team and everyone's on the same team, everyone's got his own position, everyone's got his own mission, every own little thing, and we're all together doing it together, you're going to be really strong to be able to do some absolutely amazing things. But when you're just by yourself, you're struggling, because then every single thing you got to try to keep on guard for, and you can't do that. You can't. You're going to exhaust yourself. That you're going to start hallucinating. You're going to start not being able to function. You're going to start not being able to do. And that's what I see today. People can't sleep today. People can't eat right today. People can't do anything normal today, to the point of being able to just take care of yourself. Everything is messed up. Everything is challenging. I need a pill for this. I need a drink for this. I need a this for this. And you need something for everything. And it's because you don't have no sort of peace inside of you, because you're thinking that you need to take care of it all, and you can't. That's where a beautiful thing is of having God in your heart, so that he can be able to take care of majority of the things that you think that you're struggling with, and be able to bring close to you the people that are going to be able to help you out with what it is that you need help with. And with that, I just want to say thank you for a very interesting day for me today. Being able to once again just see the beauty of what God has created for us to be able to work with and be able to manage and be able to play with. It's an amazing thing to be able to be out here, to do what it is that I do, and to continue to just see what I see. I don't know what it is. I just really like raising me some baby chicks. I like these little chickens. It's really neat, super fascinating. I lose one here and there. It kind of hurts a little bit, but I see the majority of it, what's going on. It's an amazing thing. Then it's an amazing thing to be able to have such a thing, so that I could be able to supply some food for myself and for others. It's such an amazing thing. It's just really neat. I really enjoy it, and being able to do that is what's allowing me to be able to see the true understanding of what God's all about, instead of just thinking that it's just about me. It's not about me. It's about you, and it's about everyone around you. It's about me and everyone around me. And the more and more that all of us really just get together and start to see that and start to figure out how to help each other out in some sort of way, the more that we're going to be able to just really find that sense of security that we need. Knowing that if you're struggling at something, then I've got you in that area. And if I'm struggling at something, then you got me in that area. And that's what we really should be focusing more of our time on, instead of just being in this reactive, I gotta do it, I'm all by myself, I'm all alone. No, you got people here, and you got God with you. Thank you.